Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learn his truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet servants, scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters that are sincere in your children, shalom. In today's video, as you can see, going to be building off of this video I got here. And as you can see from the title, it says cities under attack as National Guard prepares for deployment, right? So you ultimately got Nero Trump, you see, who's ultimately been putting in a lot of, unrighteous decrees and executive orders for a lot of these National Guards to deploy to a lot of these cities here in America. And we know that ultimately, martial law is coming to the streets of Babylon the Great, because as it tells us in 2 Esdras 15-17, that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's going to be ultimately due to the military locking this place down, military checkpoints being set up in these different states throughout America. You see, and we know ultimately what this devil did in Washington, D.C. was ultimately just a prelude to what's coming, man. You see, that was just setting the tone for what they're about to ultimately do here soon in this place, America. So with that being said, we're going to get into this video. We're going to listen to what it is the guy's saying. And I'm going to grab a few precepts and Abarat be edifying to you brothers and sisters that come across it. So with that being said, fair use on the 1976 Copyright Act, not getting paid for this video. Fair use.
When I told you that if you live in a major city here in the United States, to prepare, because President Trump is going to be taking the National Guard and be going into other cities. It wasn't just Los Angeles. It wasn't just Washington, D.C. Now he's talking about going into Chicago, into New York, another city that didn't want to be named. And then, look at this. It says Trump targets Portland for cleanup because it's like, quote, living in hell. That is exactly what President Trump said. Now, I want to show you something. Because again,
right.
This is where...
And you hear what it is the guy is saying. So, like I said, we see this devil is just moving from city to city. Here it is. He ultimately only said he was going to do these things in a handful of states. But as you can see, now he's stretching forth and going to more states here in America. Because ultimately, like I said, that's the plan of these devils, man. They want to lock this entire country down, man. And it's going to happen, man, because it's prophecy. These things will come to pass. You see, so I'm actually grabbing this precept right here. That's why it tells us right here in Sirach, right? Chapter 10. Right, chapter 12, Salakia, verse 10, it says to never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, right? And we know that the worse our iron rusts, the worse it becomes, you see. Verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust, right, representing this man's wickedness, have not been altogether wiped away. And that's what a lot of these Americans are about to see, mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. A lot of you are about to see that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man, and he's about to show that through his draconian measures, through these laws and all these different things that he's putting in place, ultimately to target you jakes. You see, this is the time and season that we are in, man, right? Because as it tells you right here, I'm going to grab that precept as well. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. It says, and the Egyptians, right, talking about you Americans, see, you people here in Babylon, will I give over into the hands of a cruel Lord, right? And that's talking about Trump, man, which is Nero coming back in the reincarnation. It says, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And this is what we see happening, man. The things that Trump is doing, no other president in America's history has been doing these things, man. You see, deploying National Guard upon his own citizens and things like that. This man is the cruel Lord that the scripture speaks about. And as we get closer and closer, the more this man rusts, or his wickedness is just going to continue to show, right? Because we are in those times and seasons. What did it say in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, right? And I'm going to grab that. Because this is ultimately what we see happening. You see this devil coming down with great wrath. You see, and it's only going to get worse. Like I said, this man's wickedness is only going to increase. It's going to get worse as time moves on. You see, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, which is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is come down unto you having great wrath, meaning extreme anger, right? Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And that's what the man knows. You see, at the end of the day, that his rulership, him being in power, is getting ready to come to an end. He knows that, you see, so that's why he's about to ultimately come down with this strict draconian system that he's coming with, man. You see, trying to establish their enterprise, which is this new world order. right? And we're going to actually look up that word draconian, right? Or draconian measures on the chat GPT, right? Because this is what we see this man coming with, draconian measures, right? And it's going to be enforced upon you American citizens, right? Mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? So this is the definition of it, right? Bear with me. Right. All right. You go into it. Draconian measures, right? On the chat GPT, it said refers to excessively harsh, severe, or strict laws, rules, or actions, especially those imposed by governments or authorities. And that's what we see this man coming with, man. Using the National Guard to enforce, and police his own citizens. Those are draconian measures, man. Right. And that's what this devil is coming with. Like I said, that's what makes this man the cruel Lord, because he's doing things that no other president you can see in American history has done, man. Right. And that's all part of this devil showing those horns, man, coming in with that wrath. Right. So we're going to get back into this video, and we're going to finish watching it. So bear with me.
Chicago leaders and their residents are bracing for President Trump to deploy troops to the city to help clean it up and ensure that the residents are safe, bring down crime. Because,
all right, you see, and you hear what it is the guy is saying, and that's why the scriptures tells us. I'm actually grab that too through the spirit, right? This is because, mind you, that's what they're ultimately allowing the people to believe, and telling the people to ultimately give them a sense of security, to make them feel okay with all of these changes that are happening. Because, like I said, they're basically saying that, oh, we're going to deter crime. We're going to bring down the violence that is happening in a lot of these inner cities. That's what these devils is doing. So, like I said, this is ordo ab chaos, man. You see, ultimately, these are problems that they have created. Right. And they're looking at the reaction of the people, and they're coming in with the solution, man. And the solution, like I said, is going to be to lock this place down, man. Right. Everybody, being monitored and things like that. That's all the plans of these devils, man. You see, Psalms 55:21. It said the words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were salted in oil, yet were they drawn swords. Because, like I said, he's making the people believe in their mind that everything that he's setting up and doing is to help them. But in actuality, it's the total opposite. It's really to oppress you. It's to have control over you. You see, that's the main thing that this man wants to accomplish. You see, and I'm going to go to another precept you see on that. This is back at Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, also known as Sirach, and I'm going to go down to verse 16. It said, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. We know who our enemy is, right? Which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you see. And it says, but in his heart, meaning his mind, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit, you see. And that's what he's trying to do, man. That's what this man is imagining. You see, like I said, he's going to, say that he's using the military and the National Guard to try to, control the cities and bring down crime. But like I said, that's a lot, man. He's really doing these things to, enforce his New World Order system that he's trying to build up, right? So it says he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. You see, this man is the devil. Verse 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, right? And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And that's what this man is doing. You see, he's, bringing out these troops and setting them up in a lot of these cities and things like that, all in a sense of telling the people that he's trying to help them. He's trying to protect them. But yet he's undermining the people, because guess what? They're not deploying these troops for your best interest. They're not deploying these troops to, protect you American citizens, even though that's what they're trying to run with and say. But that's not the truth. That's far from it. Right. They're enforcing these National Guard troops to have control over you American citizens, you see. And like I said, all of this is going to backfire, because ultimately we know that this is when you're going to have, civil unrest and all of these different things happening. And that's ultimately the direction that this place America is headed into a civil war. And that's what's going to ultimately happen out of all of this stuff that Trump is doing, man, because you already got a lot of these people that are fed up as is. Right. And once he started really deploying all of these National Guards to these cities, hey, it's going to be chaos, man. You see, that's what's coming to this place, America. And ultimately, all of these things are being orchestrated by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Because in St. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, Lord Yahweh Shah himself said, to think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, man. So all of the division, all of the different things we see, the separation happening here in America is all being orchestrated by the Lord, man. You see, because ultimately, like I said, this place is ran this course, man, and the Lord is getting ready to ultimately judge this place, man, and all type of evils are about to become and happen in this place, America. You see, so I'm actually going to that precept, man. You see, just touching on it in the spirit, because like I said, we bring out this book a lot, you know, because ultimately this is the time of season that we're in where these things are about to happen. This is what everything is leading to. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction, because that's what's coming, right? Verse 15, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what you're going to have happening, man. Like I said, because eventually, once these American citizens realize that their so-called government that they love and care about has betrayed them, and that they don't care about them, and that they're ultimately trying to oppress them, and you see, control them and rule over them, which, hey, these people going to bug out once that happens, man. Once these people understand that the so-called American dream that they've been believing in all of this time was all a lie, it was an illusion. You see, hey, these people going to bug out. So it's going to be a lot of violence and chaos happening soon in these streets of Babylon the Great. That's what everything Trump is setting up. Like I said, but they want this chaos to happen. Like I said, ordo ab chaos. Because guess what? Once they get the chaos going, then they can come in with the order to the chaos that they ultimately orchestrated and started. Right? So it said, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, right? Because this is what you're going to have, man. Because a lot of these people, they're going to fight against the military. You see, a lot of these people going to fight against the government officials and these police officers and things like that. That's what a sedition goes into. People uprising against the government. All of that is going to happen soon here in America, man. Right? It says, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? People ain't going to be caring about what Trump or these military, National Guard soldiers or any of them are talking about in these times that are coming, man. Right? People going to be worried about themselves, man. This tells you in Matthew 24 and 12, and because iniquity shall abound, that the love of many shall wax cold, man. Cold going into the Greek word psychos, so crazy, man. These people are going to be out of their minds in these times, man. They're not going to care about what the government is telling them to do and trying to establish order. None of that is going to work, right? It's going to be all hell breaking loose out here in America, complete lawlessness, right? And it says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? So like I said, these are the things that are getting ready to come to America, man. Because like I said, eventually these American citizens, the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight, man. The Lord is going to put the spirit on them ultimately to react, because ultimately, like they say in the world, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And when people feel as though their back is pressed against the walls and they have nothing else to hope for, then people just bug out, man. That's why it tells you right here, I'm going to grab that, Isaiah chapter 19, and I'm going to go up to verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right, these Americans, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? That's that division. That's that destruction that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah is bringing to this place, America. And like I said, everything that we see this man Nero Trump doing, you see, is what's going to allow all of these things to take place, what's going to make these things manifest, right? And like I said, it's going to happen because it's prophecy, and we are in those times and seasons, right? So bear with me. I'm going to get back into the video. But yeah, brothers and sisters, these times are fastly approaching, right? You know, things are about to get ugly out here in this country, right? And that's why these devils are moving, right? So
the residents are safe. Bring down crime, because he has seen, by sending in the National Guard into Los Angeles and into Washington, D.C., it brought down the crime rate. But listen to President Trump himself. Just listen to this and let me know your thoughts on that.
Decided which city that you want to go into next?
Yeah, I have. I'm not going to say it now, but yeah, I have. We're going to go into another place and straighten it out. And I will say this: I watched today. I didn't know that was continuing to go on, but Portland is unbelievable. What's going on in Portland? The destruction of the city. Well, I'm going to look at it now because I didn't know that was still going on. This has been going on for years. So we'll be able to stop that very easily. We'll be able to stop. But, you know, that was not on my list, Portland. But when I watched television last night, this has been going on. You wouldn't be standing.
Right, and you hear what it is this man is saying. He's saying that, Portland was not on his list, but now it is. And, hey, that's what he's going to continue to do because, like I just read earlier, for like his iron Rusteth, so is his wickedness. So, hey, he's going to tell a lot of these people here in America that, oh, we're not going to come to your state. But, hey, that's all a lie, man, because guess what? Like I said, these devils want to have complete control, and they want to lock down this place, America. So, hey, there's going to be martial law taking place in all of these states, man. You see, it ain't just going to be in the 19 states that he listed that he was going to send the military to. No, they're going to lock down this entire country, man. Right? That's what's coming. Right? So I'm actually go to a precept real quick as well. Because like I said, the Lord is going to allow this man to do these things because this is what he was created to do. You see, this man was created to be the wicked, you see, and to do these things. Right? This is Proverbs, right? Chapter 16. And I'm going to read verse 4. Right? In the KJV, it says, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked. We know who the wicked is, the so-called white man, Esau, for the day of evil. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that all of these National Guard troops and all of these different, deployments that they see going on out here in America, that those are ultimately the beginning stages of the evil, right, that the Lord has created this man to do. You see, we're coming into those evil times that the Lord has set this man up to do these things in, because, hey, he's about to come with this evil, man, right? These evil times. The Lord is the one that's ultimately bringing it, but the Lord have created this man for these times specifically that we are in, you see? So I'm going to go to another precept just touching on that. Revelations chapter 6, right? And I'm going to read verse 4. It said, and there went out another horse that was red, talking about Esau, right? And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that's what he's ultimately been doing since he's been in power. You see, taking peace from the earth with these wars, all of these different conflicts. But, hey, soon to come, like I said, he's about to take the peace from this place, America. Because, like I said, this man has but a short time. So he got to come in and try to fulfill his New World Order agenda. You see, his enterprise that he's trying to ultimately establish, which is going to fail. But, hey, he knows he has a short time. So that's why this devil is moving so quickly now. Right? It says, and that they should kill one another, and that was given unto him a great sword, right? And that sword is this man's blessing. You see, that's what he was gifted with, as it tells you in Genesis chapter 27, right? And I'm actually go to that, right? Genesis chapter 27. And I'm going to start at verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. You see, so that's basically the point right there. You see, by thy sword shalt thou live. And that's what this man is living by, his sword. You see, his military might, his technology, his power, all of the different things that the Lord have gave him. You see, and he's about to unleash that here in these times, man. You see, he's about to unleash these draconian measures and that sword, man. The Lord is about to allow him to unleash it, mainly upon you 2/3 of the nation of Israel, but also upon a lot of you other heathens and you people here in America, man. You see, because we are coming into a very evil day, man. And that's why we see all of these things happening. It's no coincidence that these devils are doing these things now here in this time of season. All of this stuff is going according to prophecy, man. These things are going to come and these things must take place. Right, because we are coming into a time, as the scriptures have called, Jacob's trouble, man, which, as the scripture said, is going to be a time like no other, man. Right. These are the times that we are in. Right. So we're going to get back into this video. We're going to watch a little bit more, and that'll pretty much be it for the video. Right.
With a mayor, can you imagine what they're doing? They're walking and throwing smoke bombs into stores. These are paid terrorists, okay? These are paid agitators. These are professional. I watched that last night. I'm very good at this stuff. These are paid agitators. They get paid money by radical left groups, not radical right groups, radical left groups. And they get paid a lot of money. And you see it with the signs. You know, they all have perfect signs and are printed. They look as good as that sign. Those signs aren't made in basements. They're made at professional printing offices, and they cost a lot of money. These are paid agitators, and they're very dangerous for our country. And when we go there, if we go to Portland, We're going to wipe them out. They're going to be gone, and they're going to be gone. They won't even stand the fight. They will not stay there. They've ruined that city. I have people that used to live in Portland. They've left. Most of them have left. But what they've done to that place is it's like living in hell.
There you go.
Right. And you heard what it is he said. And like I said, all of the crime and all of the different things that are ultimately happening in these American cities, you see, especially among you Jakes, you see, like I said, that's going to get his devil justification to come in how he's about to come in, man. Right. And ultimately, like I said, this is all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we are in the time of season of judgment, you know, and the Lord is about to allow this so-called white man to unleash and to do the things that he ultimately wants to do for this short season. Right. Because all of it is going towards prophecy being fulfilled. So these things are going to happen. Right. So I'm going to go to another precept real quick, because like I said, this man is the sword of the Heavenly Father, man. Right. Everything that this devil is doing is all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on the left hand side. He's not controlling himself. He's not doing these things because he want to do it. No, the Lord is putting the spirit on these devils to do what they're doing, man. Right. The Lord is putting the spirit on them to, you know, put in these decrees to implement martial law or to deploy the National Guard throughout all these states here in America, man. You see, that's the Lord's will. Right. Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, and disappoint him and cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked. Right. Which is the so-called white man. Right. Which is thy sword. Right. So like I said, the Lord has set this man up and the Lord controls him. And the Lord has created this man, like I said, you know, for this evil day that we are ultimately about to come into. Right. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. Just something quick to this through the spirit. You know, to the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.